and the embodiment, the spirit of Halloween. Not the store. Just the vibe, the general vibe, not the store.
Sorry? Helen, bring me in the dance hall racket.
What is up, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Megan the Fiberomancer, and thanks for joining and checking us out. I don't know what episode this technically is, but if you're here, it means you're ready to watch what I've been crafting on in just, you know, so that could be knitting, sewing, cross-stitching. I have a little bit of everything right now to share with you. And also, if you don't know, I'm doing Vlogtober this year. So I am putting up a video every single day this month. And so far, it's been going well. I've got some exciting things to share with you tomorrow. We are uploading the Haunted Overload video. So if you saw the photos on Instagram, which you should follow me, you can find it down below. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and you're subscribed, and you join us for all of the adventures that we have here, whether it's crafting or everyday life. So if you're keeping up with Vlogtober, you'll know that I'm sharing the projects that I create every single day, basically, while we're working on them. But I'm gonna put it all collectively here, and let's talk about FOs. I don't remember exactly what day it is, but you will have seen that I filmed an entire video of how I made this pink dress for Aurora, which matches my pink ghost dress. This is the exact same as the cat dress that I talked about on the last podcast episode. It is the same pattern, and it sews up really quick. I did a whole video on it, so I'll make sure to link it up here and link it down there for you guys if you didn't watch that. I'm hoping that you're keeping up on everything. If you're not, that's okay, because I know I'm behind on everybody's Vlogtobers. And the other finished object, which you'll see in more detail tomorrow, would be my Frankenstein dress. I know I talked about it a little bit, but I'm gonna zip this up. I'm so excited to share this with you guys. Like, this dress is seriously everything to me. What did I do to the zipper? The zipper is twisted. Somehow I managed to twist the zipper because I didn't fully attach it.
Can I have this? Yeah, I didn't want it.
If you've been a long-time viewer, you would have known that I've had this gingham fabric for quite some time. It is a brown, I'm trying to zip it while I talk to you guys. Okay, you'll know I've had this fabric since last year. It was in my monster project list that I wanted to make a skirt with, and it just never happened. So this is like a homespun gingham. It's got that autumnal, I want to call it like an acorny kind of brown, light brown color in black. It is just absolutely everything. I cannot express how happy I am with how this came out. This dress is just everything for me. So being that this is a custom dress, there is no one pattern. I Frankensteined two different patterns together. So this is the Rose Cafe Bustier bodice piece, and then this is the basque skirt pattern piece, which I both already had the two patterns for. I had originally contemplated whether or not I wanted to have sleeves or little puff sleeves or long sleeves. I really wanted this like kind of fresh vintage feel while I was, that whole vintage witch feel, which I think I got really well in those photos. And we ended up I ended up opting not to get to go with any sleeves, so I could wear my leather gloves that I always wear and absolutely love. And I cannot express how much I love this dress. It's everything I hoped it would have turned out to be and more. And I've noticed a lot of you guys saying, oh, you wish you could sew like that. I've been sewing for over 25 years at this point. And so when you sew for 25 years and you have 25 years of experience, you're gonna be able to do things like that. And you can do things like that anyways. And I know later down the road, I'm going to be filming my just my straight line tutorial on how I make my flannel washcloths for my face. And I just want you guys all to know, just start somewhere. You have to start somewhere. Obviously, you can't start 25 years in the past, but you can start now and just work on it, because I hate to admit it, but you're gonna suck at something before you get good at it, and you have to admit that your first couple of projects aren't going to be your best and you're learning. But starting somewhere, you gotta do it. I have about like 4 project bags as far as sewing goes that I want to make, but I don't have those finished. What do we have next? It'd be WIPS. Is WIPS next? I don't ever remember the order of what I do this video in. I guess we'll start with this one. It's a half finished object. I have 1 sock out of a pair finished. This yarn is from India Untangled in 2019. It's Junk Yarns Madame Leota colorway. I cast this on for SOCKTOBER because I'm a sock person, but I also need a vanilla project to work on. I gotta weave in this end while I'm editing every single one of my videos. So this is, I deem these the editing socks. And there's nothing special to them. I knit them up on US size 1s or 2.25 millimeter needles. They have the 18, 15, 16 rounds of 1x1 ribbing up here. You guys know my vanilla formula. You guys should know my vanilla formula about the length of my phone, heel flap and gusset, and then my foot length. This is one of those yarns that I was like, it's too special to use, and now it's been sitting for quite a while, and I'm like, well, it's Vlogtober, SOCKTOBER, let's just get it done and knit these up. And I love them. They're so fun. They really embody Madame Leota. And it goes really well when I'm making reels every single day for Fangirl Fibers 31 Residents of the Haunted Mansion Countdown to Halloween. Okay, there's another pair of socks that I'm working on there. Oh, there's actually 2 pairs of socks. Where is the bag? There's more socks. I'm just working on socks on socks on socks. Where did they go? Oh, right here. Okay, there's the one that's fit. While working on that, I'm also when I finished that sock while editing, I cast on another editing sock because, I don't know, I needed something a little bit more autumnal and the embodiment, the spirit of Halloween, not the store. Just the vibe, the general vibe, not the store. So I'll show you. This is one finished. It's like a kind of in-between shorty. I did not want my ankle bone showing. Weird Megan moments. So I have 20 1x1 ribbing, and then I started my heel flap on my foot because these are for, what did I put these on for? I don't know. I'm probably not gonna wear them for a while because I don't normally wear short socks, but there's a specific reason I needed short socks and I cannot remember why. Maybe it will come to me, but it's not, but today is not that day right now. And then this is its mate because it's a shorty. I'm actually almost in between a row. Almost done with this one. Again, and obviously it's changing, fading. It's a Zuber ball. I don't know what the color was, but it was a Zuber ball sock ball that I had some sock yarn waiting around in a couple of different projects. So it works really nice. I also have this habit of throwing my socks currently on my bed at night when I switch from being in this room into my bedroom, and then I pick it up in the form of the claw. You guys know the claw, where I have to pick up like as many things as possible in one hand, like this, the ball, the sock, and that, and I just drop all of the stitches off of one needle. So I keep having to pick it up, and I keep being like, don't do that again, and then I do it again. This will be done by when I'm done editing this vlog, or this isn't a vlog, this is a podcast. I'm so used to just vlogging every single day at this point. So this will be done by the end of editing this. And then I will have my first SOCKTOBER pair of socks done. What was the reason for shorties? I don't know why I needed shorty socks. Was it the yardage? But there was a specific reason I needed this. I got nothing on it. Toss that over there. I'm gonna toss it onto the chair over there. I'm gonna pick it up and I'm gonna do exactly what I just said again. I have not worked on either my Go-Go Throw or my Arachne cardigan at all. I've just been working on socks because it takes so much of my brain to think of that lace pattern or to work on the color work. I'm almost done with it. I'm like 2/3 done with it, so I might pick it back up, but I've just been wanting to do some mindless knitting. I have one more pair of socks, speaking of mindless knitting. I've just been wanting to work on nothing but mindless knitting, which is hard to do when I'm filming everything every single day. It's hard to work on things that aren't mindless when I'm filming every single day and editing and getting everything up for you guys. Oh my gosh, I'm in the middle of this round too. So this is my other mindless sock. This one stays in my purse, so this is my travel sock, as opposed to the editing socks. I showed this off last week, so I'm not much further because I haven't gone anywhere really. This is not, it's looking a little, I don't know if you can tell the greens. So this is Falling in Love Craftian by Geektastic Yarns on their Sparkle base. I picked this up in Maryland when I was helping vend at Yarn Centric. That was really fun. And this heel contrast color is one of the Farmer's Daughters Fibers sock squads. I can't remember which month or which year. I've been getting it every single year since it started, so I can't remember. But it matches, it picks up the maroon stripe that's in here, and this is a self-striping yarn. This is different than the other sock. This has a 2x2 ribbing on US size ones. A little bit different, but not really. And it's living in my cat project bag. This is the only one in a project bag, so that's why I gotta make more of these little sack bags. So I stopped dropping my stitches. I'm trying to decide if I can throw it without it bouncing off the other project. No, it landed on the floor. Okay. More WIPS that you can't really tell what this is, but I'm gonna go knitting and then we'll do WIP that is not knitting. It will be my cross stitch. I ripped this out. I'm holding this double. This is Fangirl Fibers Spooky Year Round Belladonna colorway, which I can't remember which month it was, maybe March. It is a dark forest hunter green. I showed it off in the vlogs, but this is going to be the Water Wraith mitts by Dragonhorn Yarn. I am testing it. I just had to rip it out and cast on the second size as I am test knitting, so things get altered all the time, and the first size was just too small. I am making these as a gift for my mom to go with some of the new coats she's got. You can't tell anything. This is one of, I think 3 or 4, I think it's 3. I'm trying to remember. I don't want to BS my way through this as I always do. 3 patterns that will be released before Woolen Folk, and there'll be colorways. This and then the New Moon Rises hat, which I completely frogged this morning because I messaged Tristan, was like, your sample has 1x1 ribbing. The directions have 2x2. I finished the ribbing and I'm starting this. So I frogged that all this morning to fix that because, you know, that's what test knitters are for. They're there to read the pattern as it is directly written so that you can then, as a designer, go back and change it to either match or be like, that's on you, but that one was not on me. So I ripped that out this morning, ripped this out. This is a DK weight pattern. Did I say that? I don't think so. So I am holding this fingering weight twice to double it. But, and also, so I didn't reball it because I'm pulling from the center and the outside, so it's just like yarn barf city. It is not fun to move around. Oh, I gotta get those done this week because obviously they have to come out before Woolen. I know I said I haven't worked on it, but I figured I'd show it again in case you didn't watch the last episode because I'm not showing this in the vlog. This is my Arachne Sweater. Sadly, this pattern is discontinued, so that's a big bummer. But instead of it being a sweater, I'm going to steek it. Where's my little thing? You can see. I'm gonna steek it so that it will be a cardigan. And honestly, I might finish it because this dress might go to Rhinebeck with me, and I just feel like that would be just so cute. I don't know. I feel like if this goes, it needs a sweater to go over it. I've been changing up what I'm gonna wear and what's actually gonna be my sweater almost daily at this point. It's a little bit extreme. But as far as that project goes, I am holding it with Plies and Hellhounds what is it? What is their sparkle base called? Ginger. In women's, I can't remember the colorway. I'm also, and then the color work is done with Valley Yarn Huntington in the natural color, and whatever Valley Yarn's mohair is called. I can't remember what it is at all. But that's what I'm doing. I'm holding the mohair with the color work just to give it a little bit extra up there. Be a little bougie. My last WIP that I'm working on, hopefully you can see it without the light shining through, is this cross stitch by the Witchery Stitcher. Witchery Stitcher? Stitchy Witchery. There are so many little plays on that word. Okay. So this is as far I got. This is a pain, but I'm so excited to be working on this. I can't work on it for long because black, this is a whole realm of hell right here. Working on the black at a cloth. If it's not natural daylight, I need to get like one of those like really bright white lights, or like sit in the kitchen where we have white lights. I don't know when I'll have this finished. I was hoping I'd have it finished shortly, but I keep finding so many cute cross stitches. But yeah. Megan, editing Megan, pop up what it's supposed to look like over here so everybody knows, because it's a little bit hard to tell. Put you back over there. So that's everything that I'm currently working on, actively working on. Obviously I'm always coming up with more plans. I have more plans. I have to make some baby doll dresses. I want to make some more project bags, but I'm not going to talk about those too much. Yeah, you just saw this. These, I showed them off in the vlog, but this is going up before that. So let me show you what I got in the mail. I have Fangirl Fibers Disney Attraction Club and the Spooky Year Round Club, which is very on brand for me. So we're going to start off with this month's Disney Club colorway, which are all based off of attractions. And I showed my mom this and I was like, can you guess what it is? And she's bad at it, but I love all of the warm autumnal colors. I plan on casting this on next when I'm done with my editing socks, my editing shorty socks. I love this. It makes me so happy, and I talk about this in the vlog, but I'll talk about it here. So the attraction is the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. I absolutely love the theming of the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. So if you're not a Disney person and you don't know about the ride or anything about it, first of all, I talked about this in my vlogs, so I'm going to talk about it now just in case you don't watch the vlogs or you're finding me through this video. All of the Disney queues and like where you're waiting is basically like walking through a set. It is themed, it is entertaining because you're going to spend a lot of time waiting in line. That being said, Tower of Terror is based off of the Hollywood Tower hotels, all right? Which is like an old glamour Hollywood style, but it's haunted. If you've seen like the Disney Channel, like early 2090s video, I mean, movie, like, maybe you'll know what I'm talking about, but it has this glamour old Hollywood vibe to it, and it's haunted and deserted, and it's absolutely stunning. And then what happens is there's a storm. You learn this in the pre-show. So there's a pre-show before you even, so there's a line, there's a pre-show movie that shows you and gives you context of like the ride's story, and then you go and you wait more until you get into the elevators. So there's a whole storm and there's people in the elevator, and then the tower is zapped by electricity, and it sends the elevators and the guests in the elevators into the Twilight Zone. I love the Twilight Zone. Also, like, I'm a huge fan of that as a show, both like story-wise and like cinematically. Love it. It's just so classic, and there's so many good stories in it. And basically, it's a drop ride. So when you get into it, it zaps you, you enter the Twilight Zone, and there's these really cool projections that move you forward, because let me tell you all about the ride itself. The elevators, so it's like, if you look at it, you can see it. The queue and the elevators are in the back, and then they have to move forward. So if it's like this, you're cute, you go up here and then it physically moves you forward because this is like the facade, the front where it opens. It moves you through here, and during this, it's like a whole projection of you going through the Twilight Zone, and then it's a drop right over here where you can see everything, and then it goes back and it loads like a little doodle-loop, whatever. I'm very into like the engineering and the behind the scenes of these rides, and I'm passionate about this. Anyways, it's a really fun ride, and it's a really fun setting, and like wherever that went, it's on point. Also, I talked about this in the vlog. Lev and I just celebrated 7 years of being hand fasted. We want to have like a real like ceremony, a vow renewal sort of thing as a Disney wedding, and one of the venues we were looking at is the courtyard for the Haunted Mansion. So it's just very on brand for me. So I'm very passionate about that. You managed to get on the topic of like the two things I can talk a lot about, which is yarn and Disney. And when they cross over, I'm just a chatty little box. And so the Stay Spooky Club this month is 13th Gates, which is a haunted house attraction in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I've never heard of this, so this was really cool to me. And I get the stitch markers to show off, which are these really fun acrylic ghosts. They give me Pac-Man ghost vibes, just a little bit. And this is the yarn, which is a cool tone, blue-gray, like tonal with some like rust colors. I don't know if the camera will pick it up. Rust-colored speckles inside of here. Very fun, and some like red. I don't know if that's color splitting or if it's meant to be that way, but yeah, there's like rusty ochre colors and some like red speckles throughout. This is really fun. I want to cast that on also. Oh my gosh, I just kicked the tripod so hard. Like I punted it. Oh my goodness. Okay. Now that I've gone through all of the crafty stuff, I can talk to you guys about my books. So if you're not my books, the books that I've read and what I'm watching, where I've been, what we're doing. Obviously, we're still going to Rhinebeck. So if you see me at Woolen Folk, Cake, or at the New York Sheep and Wool Festival, please come up and say hi. I love seeing you guys. I love meeting all of you. Make sure you let me know like your online name. Otherwise, I'm gonna look at you and you're gonna be like, oh, I watch you. And I'm gonna be like, yeah, who are you? So if we talk, let me know who you are or like what we did, because otherwise I'll pretend I know exactly who I'm talking to when I might not have an idea, just because my brain doesn't work that way. It will not know your name off the top of my head. I don't, if it's not Disney, I'm not gonna remember the facts. Also, while we're there, I'm not gonna have stickers. I'm making friendship bracelets. So remember that if you wanna make a friendship bracelet, when you know, I'll have some of those with me. Where's my Goodreads? I've finished 2 books since the last time we podcast. I'm trying to get this open to remember, because I talk about them extensively while I'm vlogging, because obviously it's a lot easier for me. What is that on my phone? I don't know what that was. Oh no, I finished 3 books. Well, I read The Skull by John Klassen to Aurora, and I literally only got that from the library because of his beautiful illustrations. And it was a fun story. I did really enjoy that, but that's just like a kid's picture book, so there's not really much I can tell you about it other than if you've got a kid that kind of likes a little bit spooky. It's not super spooky. It's just got a little creepy vibes to it. Nothing too scary, in my opinion, but you gotta remember, I'm me. We went to Haunted Overload, and watch horror nights and all that sort of stuff, but I don't think it's too scary. The graphics, nope, the illustrations are very fun and beautifully done. So we'll put that over here so you can see what it was. I read You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight by Kaylin Byron. Okay, I talk extensively when I finish this in the vlog. I read the synopsis. So, and I think I just did this yesterday because I finished it 2 days ago. I was really let down. I give this like 2.75 out of 5 stars. It is a young adult slasher style book. And, you know, I read young adult books every now and then, but I really want to know what the target audience thinks of this because it was so cringy. I cringed. And like the first third of the whole book, I'm trying to do this without spoiling it if you guys want to read it, because obviously my opinion is different, and I honestly hope that my bad reviews make you want to read it and be like, oh yeah, okay, I get what you mean, because I try not, again, I don't like to just say, it's bad, it sucked. In my opinion, it was just written off. The dialogue was weird, had great representation of people, huge representation, great diversity, but it didn't go the way I wanted it to. And I don't mean that like, oh, I predicted this, oh, it's that. It felt like the bad seasons of American Horror Story. You know what I mean. I'm trying to think. You know what I mean when I say that. Like, American Horror Story was great, and then they just like shifted, and it's kind of not so great in some of it. That's what it felt like. It really felt like it was a Disney Channel wanting to be a slasher movie. If that makes sense. Like a Disney Channel original movie. Yeah, like let's cast mid-2000 Miley Cyrus as, you know, no, because it's, but you know what I mean? Like that kind of vibe. Just, it cringy, but not in a good way. And I really wanted it to be a little bit more slashery. And I can say that like the last half of the book was really good. And I wanted that whole pace through the entire book. But again, 2.75, and that's being generous. I put 3 because I round up, because that's how math works. That's mathing. All right. I walked away for a second and now I forgot what I was saying. But anyways, not the best book. Read it if you want to, because I was going to buy this book at Barnes & Noble, but I'm glad I got it from the library, because I think I would have been more disappointed had I bought it. But that's just my opinion. You guys might like it. Okay, so I finished last night Vampires of El Norte. I say it with a French accent. Vampires of El Norte. That book. I loved this. In contrast to the other one, I loved this one. I love The Hacienda, which is her other book. And then I went on to see if there was a third book coming. I loved this book. It is written in like a Gothic style, a true Gothic style, because if you guys have, if you're one of the people that I choose to rant to when it's a Gothic book and I'm like, this is not Gothic. A huge factor of Gothic novels and like literature is the setting and the atmosphere. I gave this one 5 stars, and I might be biased because I already loved her writing from reading it previously. This was also my book club read for September, and I'm just super behind on everything because I'm doing a bunch of things. I loved this book. As I told my mom, it reads like a classic. Like I would file this under new age classic, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense to you guys. I don't have the synopsis to read to you guys, but I'm trying to think. While The Hacienda lacked a sort of true like a romance line, I would not say this is a romance book at all. This is just an atmospheric, it's not super scary. I did not feel the tension that I like in a horror when I'm reading like a true horror. I like that tension. I like that, But this one wasn't like that. It was just, it flowed and it was enjoyable. And I rode that story all the way out on the audiobook version. I also have the tangible book copy. Really, really appreciated this book. It was like a breath of fresh air for me compared to some of the ones that, after just finishing You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight, this was just everything I wanted. I loved it. It was great. I was happy with the ending. It was a very good for you kind of, it was enjoyable. It also gave me I can fix them vibe, not towards our main male character, but towards the monsters. And as somebody who reads a lot, some monster romance, I was like, oh, this could have gone so many different ways, but it was a gothic style, so it didn't. But she was such a loving, Nena was such a loving soul. If you have the chance, I would highly suggest this if you like, if you like classics, honestly. Like if you like a true gothic classic, I would highly suggest this one or The Hacienda. And if that's not, it's slow paced. Let me get this clear. It is slow, but it's no slower than, say, if you're reading Frankenstein for the first time. That's why I categorized it as a new age classic. And I love the Southwest setting of it. I love the variety. That's why I said it was like a breath of fresh air, because when you're reading so many ghost stories, so many vampire stories that take place over in Europe, you know, this is just very different in a good way, in a new way, in a classic way. Thank you guys for watching. That is about everything that I could possibly say and explain to you and talk to you about this week. I hope you guys are enjoying all of the vlogs. I am super like enjoying just feeling good about posting every single day for you guys and just sharing what we do, even if it's not the most exciting thing. I take, you give or take, Haunted Overload and a couple other things like Rhineback that are going to be happening. And I appreciate you guys being here and watching. So make sure you like this video, you're subscribed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.